Welcome to the TheGeeksAttic. I am doing it live, unannounced, just a live stream video. I'm going to hang out, talk about some books that I have here around my desk. Got a few things here that might be fun to show you. Jeffrey in the Jeffrey. Got Jeffrey in the comments. How's it going, man? Hey, y'all. Hey, it's just me so far anyway. I don't know if the other guys are going to join in yet. Had some books laying around that I thought, you know what? I don't think I've ever shown these off on the old YouTube. I'm in a really uncomfortable chair tonight. It sucks. Camera looks a little off too, but whatever. It's fine. It's storming outside. Just like earlier today, it was in the 80s or 90s. All of a sudden, it's in the 60s. I love it. It makes me happy. But yeah, I was in the mood to do some reading tonight, and then the mood suddenly stopped, and then the creative juices started flowing, and I wanted to write. So then I sat down to write, and then everything just kind of went away. My brain shut down, and I got frustrated. And wife was like, "Why don't you just go live stream?" So I thought, you know what? I'll go live stream. I'll take a couple of books with me upstairs and talk about them. Show some stuff I don't think I ever showed you guys. And I'll go ahead and do that. I've got a couple books here. Some of them that I know that I'll probably never ever read. I just have them. Maybe one of these days it'll hit, and I'll be like, well, you know what? Maybe I will read that. Aerosmith was always my favorite band. Okay, in high school, junior high or high school, it just hit me. I was like, Star Wars, Aerosmith, awesome. They're my favorite band. I love it. I went to like 5 of their concerts, and I actually got to meet Joey Kramer, who wrote a book. Drummer of Aerosmith, Joey Kramer, Hit Hard, a story of hitting rock bottom at the top, with William Patrick and Keith Gard, forward by Nikki Sixx. So I got to shake his hand. I have a picture with him. I don't have that picture ready to show on here, but he actually he signed and autographed the book and spelled my name wrong. He forgot to put 2 T's. He just put 1. But still cool. Glad I got to shake his hand, meet him, get his book. And then years down the road at another concert, I got to meet Joe Perry, the lead guitarist of Aerosmith. That was really cool. You got to see them downtown Oklahoma City. And as I was leaving, I was walking by this popular hotel where a lot of the basketball players stay when they're playing against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And a lot of musicians, they go stay at this hotel. And I'm walking past it to go to where my car was parked. And this huge bus pulls up. So I'm like, I'm just going to hang out right here for a second. Glad I did, because Joe Perry jumps off this giant bus holding a guitar case. My phone was dead, so I couldn't get a picture with him, which really sucks. But I got to shake his hand. I told him, like, sir, you're the reason I play guitar. And he was like, well, thank you. And it was a really cool moment. Somebody took a picture of me and him shaking hands. The person said, oh, yeah, sure. What's your phone number? I'll text you the picture. Told her my number. She never sent the picture. So no proof that I ever got to meet Joe Perry, which sucks. Oh, well, it happens, right? Jeffrey in the comments says, me too. Was going to start Kenobi, but just wasn't feeling it. Yeah, that's a really good book, by the way. You should read Kenobi. A lot of fun on that one. John Jackson Miller even did a little tie-in to that in a canon book. Well, I guess the book's really not fully canon either. It's that from a certain point of view, there's a little story with one of the main characters in there. So I won't give away too much. But another book that I have here that's completely random, I've got Empire of the Summer Moon. I think my mother-in-law gave this to me, and I just never read it. I mean, I don't even know what it's about. Quanah Parker and the rise and fall of the Comanches and the most powerful Indian tribe in American history. The New York Times book review says, transcendent. Empire of the Summer Moon is nothing short of a revelation. Will leave dust and blood on your jeans. Interesting. It's by C.S. Gwynne, finalist for the Pulitzer Prize. Well, that's neat. There's a lot of stuff on the back that I'm not going to read, but it's published by Simon & Schuster. Would like to, probably should read that. Just get a little knowledge, to take a break from all the fun and games with Star Wars and other nerd stuff that I'm reading. gonna send out an invite to Adam from Bryant's Nerd Pub. He said he'd like to join. But I have my Paper Movies book for the month, The X-Files Fight the Future. I finished reading it. It's the first one in the group to finish it. I'm so happy that I'm done with it. Not saying if it's good or bad. I'm going to save all of those thoughts for the Paper Movies discussion at the end of the month. Going to be a good time talking about the book. As always, if you haven't subscribed over there, do so. I'm happy to see that the numbers over there are growing. I'm going to send this invite. Sorry, so we'll have another guest on here. I know he was doing another review earlier, filming one anyway. Maybe he's finished. Maybe we'll see a nice video from Adam at Bryant's Nerd Pub tomorrow. Now, where the heck did my speaker plug-in thing go? I'm sorry, I've got these. What in the world? Where did it go? Little volume switch thing. There we go. I found it, guys. Unprepared stream. Just got up here, started filming. Completely random. So I'm unprepared. We got small time. As a fellow Matthew, I once got an autograph signed with one too. It was a little annoying. Oh, with one T. Okay, so hello. Small time. You're a Matthew then. Okay, that's good to know. Maybe I'll start calling you Matthew, if that's cool. I don't need those yet, do I? There's no one here. We got Quality Autism. Hey, Quality. How's it going? Hope you're doing well over there in Germany. Hello from America. But anyway, like I said, X-Files, I'm done. Finished reading it. Ahead of schedule. Boom. That's book number 18 that I finished. See, I've lost. I keep losing track. I posted a picture on Instagram, Facebook. Guys, coming now into the stream, we've got Adam.
Hey, everyone.
What's going on?
Oh, good. How about you, man?
Doing good. So I'll turn my volume up a little bit. Yeah, so I was frustrated with trying to write. Didn't really get in the mood to read either because the thunderstorm happened and wife was kind of watching YouTube videos and I thought, this is annoying. I'm going to go try to write. Nothing came to me. And then she's like, why don't you go do a live stream? So here I am. Now, I know you said that you were working on one of your reviews, weren't you?
Yep, 95% done. It'll be
95% done.
Yep, Iron Man, Demon in a Bottle.
Sweet. Did I take you away from the other 5%?
No, I was taking a break anyway.
Okay, good. I didn't want to distract too much. I've been showing off some of the books that I have up here. Some stuff that I've never read, probably not ever going to read. Talked about my experience with Aerosmith. Had a book from the drummer. He autographed my name wrong, which is cool. It happens. So
at least he didn't spell it like Mathieu or something.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
Mathyu. Matthew. That would have been goofy. But I was gonna talk about my failures in writing. How other people that I do know have written books. Like this guy, I was in a book writers guild at my former work location. Wrote this book, and then of course your wife who wrote this. So it's like I've been surrounded by people. I know people that have written books. I could do it, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I just feel like it's such a failure. Both of these are signed, by the way, too. So that's really cool. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I remember we all took our families out to the lake, and she signed it for you there. Yep.
Yeah, that was nice. I'm glad I got that autographed copy. It'll be worth millions one day. She gets her deal with a publisher.
Yeah, it makes gets the film rights or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that book would make a pretty cool Netflix original series. I think
someone told her that too.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it would definitely. And I also mentioned that I finished the X-Files. How much you coming along pretty good on that book? Or have you even started yet?
I started. I got a long ways to go. I think I'll be honest. I'm on chapter 2. So
okay. Well, I mean, you still have plenty of time. It's still what is it like the second week of September?
Yeah, I was. I was reading other books, one of which you recommended to me, and Yeah, and I was just like trying to get through those, but I'm gonna read more of X-Files tonight. So
Heck yeah, it's a good night to read it with the rain if it keeps going.
yeah, hopefully it
Just
does.
yeah, hope it doesn't let up. I love it. Like you sent me a message. You're like, oh, it feels like fall outside.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was actually cold, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, it was like just earlier today. It was like in the 90s or something. At least that's
Yeah,
what I think. Anyway, it has
and
been.
and like in the course of like an hour, went to 63 degrees or something.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful in my opinion. I love it. So I
Oh
don't
yeah.
know. I sent you a message too. I let everybody else know that I have this conflict. I don't know what book to start next. I know I'm like scatterbrained sometimes when it comes to reading. Of course, a book that I have been kind of reading. This one's like there you go. Wow. Okay. Maybe one of these days when you finish it, we can discuss it. But for this one is just like a I guess you'd say a personal read. Like I don't plan on like reviewing this one because it's like nothing that relates to the rest of the stuff on the channel. Of course, a lot of the other horror novels and other things are just kind of select, like, oh, here's a one-off review, but this is just like a crime book, and don't think I've ever reviewed a crime novel on my channel, so I don't know that I will. So I might just read that for myself and as a break away from all the franchises and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because October we're going into the Halloween novelization, so
No, still need to get my copy.
yeah, it's pretty easy to get, I'd say. I think anyway. But I thought about starting on this one tonight, but then I thought, you know what? This is supposed to be like a direct sequel to the original film. I probably need to rewatch Halloween first.
I'll
So
rewatch it.
Yeah, well, not this, but the original film, because I think this is like
yeah.
I think this is supposed to be like the new sequel, like the direct sequel.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's like the Superman Returns of Halloween movies. It's like it's supposed to be the sequel that replaces the other sequels.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy how they keep doing that all over again with everything. I think Ghostbusters might be like that too. Maybe, I don't know. The new Ghostbusters movie coming out. I don't know if it's supposed to take place after number 2 or not.
I don't know either. I know it's. I mean,
They
it's
never said
definitely.
it was like it's number 3. There's like, oh, new Ghostbusters movie. I don't care either way. I'm excited about it.
I do have one book here that this is kind of more of like a tease for a book haul I'm about to do. So.
Oh yeah.
And I know that actually I see him in the comments. Quality Autism said that this is one of guilty pleasures. I found the novelization to Van Helsing.
Nice.
I had no idea that they had a novelization to this.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that either. I've never seen the movie.
I mean, I looked it up, tried to find it. I didn't see it. So, so it's either it's rare, and in which case, yay. But
yeah, awesome. I think these novelizations usually get like one print and then it's done.
Yeah, and it was only like $3, so I'm happy about that.
Steal. It's a great thing about these old novelizations is the majority of them pretty decent prices. Then sometimes you run into like the original Halloween or some of these Friday the 13th novels and it's like $150, $200, and that's like the bidding price, and you're like, nope. Too much for my wallet.
Oh yeah, I see that he actually started the Indiana Jones expanded universe.
That's nice. The American versions. That's good.
Yeah, I still have these two, and like I want to find as much as I can find.
Well, hopefully, quality. Are you planning on reviewing them on your channel in English? Because that would be great. You do German and an English review for those. That'd be great. I'd like to see those because I've been interested in expanding my my shelf to the Indiana Jones EU, but I don't know. I need to watch reviews for it. I know you've already started getting the books, right?
Yeah, I mean, I got the first 3 films. I mean, we've already reviewed the first one, but I found these.
Oh, you got 2 of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nice. The Hollow Earth and the White Witch.
Yep. And I did see the hardcover for Crystal Skull, and I'm only buying that one just because, like, well, okay, it's part of the franchise. So,
Yeah, completionists. Yeah.
but you mind if I show off a book I got you?
Go right ahead.
Yeah, I'm sure. I got him Spider-Man 3.
Awesome. Thank you, Adam.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I actually have a whole stack of other things too, but I'm gonna hold those for a different video.
Yeah, that Van Helsing was the only novelization I'm showing because I'm doing a book haul soon, and I want the others to be kind of a surprise. I do have a lot of comics though that I might show off. So
Awesome. Yeah, do that for sure. I can't wait for the comic. What is it? Next week. We have to wait a whole nother week. Let's talk about that in 1 second. I need to know for sure, Adam. You have to tell me which book do I need to start now? Because I'm gonna wait on Halloween. I want to watch the original film from I guess the 70s first before I read that, just so I remember. Okay, how's the story going to continue? Which horror novel do I read? Abracadabra or The Wells of Hell?
Abracadabra was the rare one, right?
Yes, this is a more rare book. I think there's one copy on eBay, and the starting bid price is $30.
Go with that one.
Go with this one.
Yeah.
Okay, it's almost 400 pages, sitting at 381.
Oh, hey, nice. Quality Autism said he'll do English/German reviews.
Good job. Do it. I'll be looking forward to that.
He's like, subscribe.
Yeah. Again. Unsubscribe and then resubscribe. No, but yeah, okay. I'm going to try to do this one. Hopefully, I can squeeze this in for October, like as a book review. That'll be my horror book review. At least I'm going to try. I'm going to try.
Yeah, Van Helsing is going to be one of mine, and I do have another one. And like I said, I'm getting that one tomorrow, and that's going to be part of my book haul.
Sweet.
I will show this one though, because the map in the dark, you got that at Dollar Tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got this one too because it looked really interesting, and it's called Dreamland. It's kind of blurry. Hold on. There it is.
Okay, yeah. It's a cool cover. I like that. It has a big city up in the top and like farmland on the bottom.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's pretty interesting. It looks like it's a pretty short book. It's only like 330 pages. So
nice. Yeah, the one around here. I looked for that one after you showed it to me and couldn't find it.
Yeah, they had a novelization at that Dollar Tree. It was for $1 Million Baby. It's the Clint Eastwood film. And
yeah.
I went back to go get it, and it was gone.
Yeah. Wow. People are buying novelizations. They're fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. We made a book club about it.
We started a revolution.
Yeah, I hope. It'd be great. Oh, here's another option that I was debating on reading too, but I think I'm going to wait on that one.
Oh, The Exorcist. Is that a novelization, or did that come first?
Nope, this came first, and this is the sci-fi book club edition.
Nice.
So, pretty kind of creepy cover, but there's, I guess, the author on the back there. Doesn't look like it'd be too difficult to get through. I've heard that it's completely different than the film, so which I imagine it would be at the time. This was written, I guess, copyright 1971. So I'm sure Hollywood spiced up a lot of stuff.
I actually have a horror film that was a book before it was a movie. It was Psycho.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, I have that over. I think it's over there somewhere. But I mostly bought it for Kelsey because she loves Psycho. She used to watch that Bates Motel show or something. Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it, but I never watched it. Oh. Comics. Oh, I have shown this one before. The Real Ghostbusters. This is volume 1. It's a little omnibus. I think they only had 2 of them. This is volume 1. But it's, I mean, like, just to look at the art on the inside, it's very cartoony, just kind of like the show, The Real Ghostbusters was. So, yeah.
I did buy a new one today, actually. I left it in the living room. I'll just go ahead and tell you what it is. It's called The Three Jokers.
Oh yeah, yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah, I bought that today, and I'm looking forward to reading that one because that one actually looks like it's gonna, start I feel like that one's going to be pretty famous. Otherwise, or it's going to be like, oh yeah, that's really cool. Then it's just going to be like, nah, who cares about it the next day? But because I'm intrigued by it, I'm kind of curious how they're going to explain it. So
Yeah, well, that's awesome. We got Jeremy.
Thank you, Adam.
oh, you're welcome.
It just came in. I was like, I need to check my mail before we get on here. So I do have one book to show off.
Nice.
In case you guys in the chat are curious how everybody gets their books, I just find them and buy them for them.
It's because Adam has the best luck finding.
He lives really close to a bookstore, so it's like, I think I'm going to take a little break, and then he just he's there.
It's like all of the books that I like to purchase, not just like movie novelizations, although that's like the hardest to find. Sorry, this is really bright. I look like the rapture's coming to get me. This room has no light in it. It has like one light bulb that's probably a 20-watt bulb.
There you go, Jeremy.
They shall expel demons.
It's on my desk. I haven't read it.
Oh, speaking of comics, here's some unfortunate news, though. I was at the comic book store because I pre-ordered this, and apparently The Last Ronin was pushed back.
Again?
Not surprising. It's COVID times. Everything's going to be pushed back.
This is like the third time it's been pushed back?
He told me that it's going to be like in October now.
Okay,
That's
well,
not bad.
I won't have to look this up. Because it's supposed to be out next week, the 16th.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm just waiting for him to be like, "Hey, your book's in." I'm like, okay, I'll go get it now. But
I'm looking it up.
Welcome to my messy room, the podcast, because I can't find a hammer.
Hey, you're kind of like Matthew. You have guitars in the background, so
I do now. Yeah, I set that up. So the Les Paul, you can see the Les Paul in the background.
Nice.
My guitars are in the closet, but you know, I got a piano, so.
Oh, did you guys? So my piano broke because I went to Guitar Center to sell it, and they broke the plug off, basically in the thing. And so like I had to. They wouldn't claim that they did it, even though I watched them do it. The whole thing that I won't get into. So they sent my keyboard out, which was a whole pain to do because the pro coverage warranty they go through doesn't actually like to cover the warranty. I know this may be a shock to some people, but you know, companies are kind of crappy when it comes to warranties because you know they lose money when you actually use it. So like they try not to do that. Actually allow you to use it. Anyway, so they kept shipping me labels that were only worth £1 when it was like obviously it weighed more than £1. So it was a pain to ship it. This is not news to either Matthew or Adam because I sent very angry Marco Polo messages each time this happened. So I finally shipped this stupid thing out and they sent it back. And by the way, they wouldn't even give me a box. I had to beg the Guitar Center people to give me a box, and it wasn't big enough, so we had to take another box. Like, went to my parents' house because I didn't have tape. I was like out of tape because I'm a poor boy, and so the three of us just bubble wrapped and taped it together so it wouldn't move. Well, they just took two big moving boxes and taped them together, but the tape broke and they didn't fix it when they shipped it back, and they didn't even bother to wrap it. They just threw a bunch of wrapping in there, so it came back broken. Came back more broken.
That's so stupid. Yeah, was it like a little pitch knob?
Yeah, it broke off in there, and then the whole like left end is cracked.
So what are you gonna do now? Are you gonna go back with your warranty information?
Oh yeah, I have a new claim. I have to send it back to them. I want them just to pay me. Let's try to sell it in the first place. It's the irony of this whole thing.
Yeah, that sucks.
I haven't had to pay anything, so that's nice, but it's still really obnoxious.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't like those big time music stores like that. The people don't seem to really know anything. The Guitar Center.
Yeah, well, there's like a mom pop shop, but they're closed because of COVID.
Yeah.
I found one because Adam's like, just try to find a small store. I'm like,
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
a lot of Google searching to find the small store. And
Kind of hard to do that too in like a smaller town.
Yeah.
Because like when I was in college, there's this. It was a pretty small town, and they had 2 music shops, and both of them shut down like before I could graduate college. It sucked.
I think this is the second time. Like, I'm not trying to like sound conceited by this, but this is the second time that like the first time was like Matthew was like saying like, I wish there was like all I want is the Golden Eye, novelization. And I don't think they have what like 2 hours later. I'm like, hey guys, look what I found at the bookstore. and then Jeremy was just like we don't have a lot of mom and pa places. Like, oh, you should check to see if there are one. And then he finds one later.
Oh, it was in the weirdest place. It was behind a bunch of stores, like in the back parking lot. Like, no wonder no one knows about them.
Yeah, that's why a lot of them probably go out of business is they don't have a big sign and they get the crappiest locations.
Yeah, there was this one music store that's by a comic book shop that I actually took Matthew to the other day. And it's a little pricey, but, it looks like they have better quality instruments than, Guitar Center or something. Like, there was this one music store in the little small country town that I used to live in, and they had a lot of decent guitars. Like, they had like Gretches for like $600 when like retailed.
So you're saying it's not like Guitar Center where they have a wall of Squire Stratocasters and Les Pauls, the cheapest ones you can have with the worst pickups?
Well, I will say this: the last time I went there, I did see a lot of Squires, but they look so much nicer.
There's like, so since Epiphone like upped their game with they have like instead of Gibson having their line for like artists, Epiphone does it now. And so like all these artists have signature Epiphone models, they're just Epiphones with really good pickups, and they play similar to Gibsons, and they're like $800 a piece. Like, that's like the minimum, like on an Epiphone that's made in Indonesia. We live in a world where Indonesia guitars are now expensive.
That's crazy.
So Squire has been trying to up their game with like their equivalent of because Fender they don't call them the Mexican series of guitars anymore. They're the Player series, but they're still made in Mexico. But Squire guitars are made in Thailand or Taiwan, one of the two. They're made in Taiwan, and they're like trying to up their game so like it's like close to playing one of the Player series guitars.
It's crazy. Weird how they do these little name changes to try to trick people into.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the quality's gone up like substantially from what like a Squire used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Squire, I'm sorry, you couldn't get the Fender. Here's something that looks like it but plays like garbage.
Sorry. Speaking of quality, I saw Quality Autism's comment about your bed, Jeremy.
Yeah, that was all on the desk.
You just like shifted everything over real quick.
Well, not all of it. Like some of there was a lot more that's in the garbage now. It's in the dumpster outside. I'm going through what's also in the living room, which is pretty from when I moved in, because now I have roommates and that's like not cool to like have all that stuff out there.
Yeah.
Be a slob. So yeah, that was me trying to find the hammer, which I still don't know where that is. I was also trying to find this one flat cable that goes into my camera that I like to use for cable management on my mic.
Speaking of little mom and pop stuff, Jeffrey Watson found a new used bookstore called McKay's. Has almost all the Star Wars EU books.
Oh, I thought it was like saying like from South Park. Okay, all the Star Wars EU. That's awesome though. Like, we have like 3 half-price bookstores, and they all have quite a bit of EU books, but they never have all of them. Like,
you go in there sometimes it's like, here's 5 copies of the same title. You're like,
probably because it got donated by one person. It's all Crystal Stars.
But you know what's so weird is that they have like this little section like of Star Wars books, like maybe 2 shelves, but then they have like shelf of Star Trek and everything.
Oh yeah, the Star Trek. There's so many books in Star Trek.
And there's so many books that no one wants to read over again.
Yeah. I always see there's always, and whenever I've been around, when I check the Star Wars stuff, there's always the Jedi Academy series. It's like, is that like the most popular book series?
No. Any Bantam. That's like the easiest hardcovers to get is those solo Bantam books because they printed so many of them.
Yeah. I know that it would be like an amazing thing for the sci-fi book collectors, but the store that me and Adam usually meet up at has a lot of the sci-fi book club editions of the EU books.
Does it ever have Republic Commando Volume 2?
I think so.
Really?
I think I remember seeing a Republic Commando.
Well, it may be Volume. Well, if it has Volume 2, let me know. That's like the only one I'm missing.
Okay.
Of the book club size ones. It's like I'm almost got a complete. Oh, and Tales. I'm also looking for Tales. Those are the two I'm missing. The sci-fi book club, like 3-in-1s, 2-in-1s, and 3-in-1s.
Well, I'm going there tomorrow to pick up a book, so if I see it, I'll let you know. But I think it was a hardcover.
Okay. Yeah. It could also be. They also did like a Order 66 hardcover. I don't know why that one got its own hardcover and the others were just printed in paperback. I mean, 501st never got a hardcover release, period. Didn't even get collected because there was going to be another Imperial Commando book, and it never happened.
Speaking of having more than one copy, as you mentioned, of Star Wars copies, Matthew said, or Quality Autism said, Matthew's on the hunt for all the copies of Crystal Star. I was going to say, the last time we were both there, we saw like 3 copies. Yeah, and they all attacked us.
Yeah, they tried to assault us. I think that's why we wound up leaving. Is they just harassed us down the aisle.
Hey, they mugged us.
Hey, buy me. Like, no, stop. I don't like you. Buy me.
I just picture have either of you seen Maximum Overdrive?
Is that the one with the semi truck that's chasing after people? Has like the goblin on the front?
Yes.
Yeah.
You remember the scene in it where the Little League team goes to the Coke machine and a Coke just spits out a bottle and it hits the coach in the nuts.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Was there another one when someone looks at it and it hits him in the forehead too, or is that?
Oh yeah, that was another one too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same machine.
Okay. Yeah, I remember when I saw that. Go ahead.
I don't know. I love that movie. That's Stephen King decided he had to direct his own adaptation of a story. And it's fueled by straight cocaine and AC/DC soundtrack.
Yeah, I just remember whenever The Happening came out, some of that stuff reminded me of that movie.
Yeah, but The Happening is actually worse because M. Night Shyamalan was a pretentious piece of you-know-what.
He lost his mind.
He was a good movie director.
Hey,
not.
Hey, Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that item at the comic book store that I was going to buy, and the owner was just like, "Oh, I'll talk to you about it." Like, well,
oh yeah,
I got it.
Yeah,
that's
pretty cool.
It's a Spider-Man Sam Raimi Spider-Man paperweight.
What's his legs?
So what?
Does have his legs? This is what the plot of Spider-Man 4 was. His legs became a brick wall.
Yeah,
but he sold it to me for $10. So
that's a good deal.
Yeah, originally it was 20, so I'm gonna have this featured in the Spider-Man stream with paper movies. So
nice. Is it how much do you think it weighs? Like 2 pounds?
Oh no, it's just like a few ounces, maybe. Like,
is it just plastic, or does it feel like metal, or what? Resin?
Something. It feels a little like metal. So yeah, I'd say a little. It's like.
Well, Small Time looked it up. There are more than 850 Star Trek novels. Holy crap.
Golly.
Yeah, they're very disposable. Get them. I see them all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Because no one wants them because Star Trek plays it too safe. Although I will say, if we ever do a Star Trek movie novelization, I'd like to do it on the motion picture.
Like the one with like Chris Pine?
No.
Oh,
Never.
okay.
The Star Trek, the motion picture from 1979.
Oh, okay.
No, I
Yeah,
don't talk
that
about
sounds.
J.J. Abrams Trek. We don't talk about that here. Or Alex Kurtzman Trek. Trek.
Trek. Yeah, I'd be down for that if I could find it. Which I'm sure we can. I'm sure that novelization's available.
I own it.
Okay.
It's another reason I want to do that.
See, Small Time also says it looks like that includes anthologies, novelizations, and omnibuses. But still, that's way more than I would have assumed. Yeah.
I know.
So many generations of Star Trek.
I know. If paper movies was all about Star Trek instead, we would be all set.
Yeah.
We're still pretty set. We just have to do Noah for every episode after this.
Star Trek 2 and 3 got novelizations written by Vonda McIntyre of the Crystal Star fame.
Yeah, she was a big Trek writer before she wrote Star Wars.
Claudia also said, did the 3 crystal stars merge into one giant crystal star at the books? No, it actually tried to open up a portal to send Waru to our time in where we were to pull us into his body, kind of like a rape. But we got out of there. We got away from the Waru and the crystal stars. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man. Star Wars. I have something that is really cool. Star Wars in concert.
Oh, nice.
Did you guys ever go see Star Wars in concert?
No. I know it happened several times.
Yeah, it was incredible. Really cool book.
John Williams composing?
No, Anthony Daniels was there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was wearing his gold tuxedo and stuff.
But I thought you said he was in the C-3PO costume because that's just how he lives. He's just grafted it to his skin.
Yeah, it's got some really cool things in it. They had back when we went, as one of the on a date me and Ashley went on when we first got together. They had like a Yoda life-size figure there. Some Ewoks were there. Taking these big plastic cages. R2 and C-3PO were there. It was cool. Tried to get video, but it was like back when there was like the 3 megapixel cameras on phones filming.
What year was this?
Probably 2009, maybe 2008.
Oh, back in the era of flip video. Do you remember flip video?
Flip video.
There were little video cameras that you hit a little switch. US what was it? Yeah, it was USB came out, and you just plugged it directly into your computer to edit. Instead of like what most normal people do and just use an SD card, computer, you'd plug it in directly, and then they tried to make like their own video service, and no one cared. They were like they were pre GoPro,
Yeah,
they were not indestructible like a GoPro is.
I didn't see Star Wars in concert, but I remember a few years back for my birthday, Kelsey took me to go see the Philharmonic, and they were doing this special show where they were playing like the themes, like the orchestral themes of several superhero movies, and like they were having like special acts with them. Like say they were playing this John Williams Superman theme, they would have like this guy come out and he would be wearing a Superman shirt, but he'd be like juggling with like fire sticks and everything. And then like for Spider-Man they would do like I can't remember what you call it. It's like where you're swinging from like I cannot remember, trapeze, stuff like that,
Yeah. Like the Graysons did.
Well, sort of. It's like where they're it's like this girl is like swinging on like this curtain or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, like Cirque du Soleil stuff?
Yeah, it was like something like that. They did like
where it's like an art form and they're up in the curtain.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't. It was like a mix of like the Philharmonic with like Cirque du Soleil stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool.
It wasn't Spider-Man on Broadway, courtesy of was that Bono? We have the blame for one of the biggest Broadway flops of all time. I mean, if Miss Saigon could land a helicopter on stage on Broadway, what are you? How do you screw up swinging around?
I heard a lot of actors got injured for that.
Yeah, Bono's a madman, and also he has one of the worst bands ever.
Oh yeah, I really don't.
Terrible, and you know it.
I don't pay attention to any of that. I was just digging through this trying to see if it had a year, and it did not. Didn't even have like a list of cities that it was going on, which kind of sucks. It's
It
like,
leads me to believe you're lying, and that's a bootleg you made on your computer.
yeah, I just printed it all out. No,
3D printer. You know.
yeah.
I made it in Adobe InDesign.
Yeah, it's big paper. It's kind of ridiculous how big they made it. I mean, why do they make it this big? Just so I could have a giant picture of.
That's how all programs are, though. Programs are really gigantic and obnoxious.
I thought it was supposed to like represent like the conductor's score, like, you know, how it's just like this massive big book of music, and
Could be.
because it has like all the orchestra parts and everything.
That would have been nice if it had.
Oh, I've never thought of that, Adam.
You'd be onto something. I've been reading in here. I started writing my issue number 3 review, and I've made it to issue number 6 in reading. So
Nice.
I've got number 6 and number 7 before I finish volume 1. I would be so bummed out if they really did move that to October. When did he find this out? Did he tell you?
Yeah, I asked him because he said it was supposed to be in like September 10th, and I asked him, and he was just like, "It's like, hey, is it coming in today or the 10th?" And he was just like, "Oh man, they actually pushed it back. It's going to be October 20th." I'm like, "Oh." It's like, because I think he said like they got like new illustrators on it or something.
Really?
Oh, God. Quality. I thought that was an act of terrorism. He's just saying goodbye. He's probably going to work.
Oh. Later, quality. Bye.
Turtle time. Later,
Yeah.
quality.
So I'm trying to look it up, and I hit like news for the last Ronin, and the last thing that brings up is that it was moved to this September 16th.
It
I'm
could
just
be
like-
a dealer only thing. Like dealers know ahead of the people
That's true, yeah.
because they get the insider information.
That's true. I mean, they're the ones that get notifications from their distributors. I'll have to call up my local place and see what they say. That we could verify. Then we could be the newsbreakers for everybody. So I guess, yeah, hey, you heard it here first then, right?
Yeah,
October 20th.
Yeah, he didn't say I'm not. He didn't tell me not to tell anybody. So
No, he's probably just.
If that's false, you guys know who to go to.
I was pointing to myself like, "Whoops,
Person who made
the
us
wrong way."
Monsters.
Do what?
It's the same guy who made us read King of the Monsters that caused me to pick the Predator.
This guy.
There you have it, folks. Paper movies were just trying to ruin each other's lives.
Yeah. See, and I brought this up earlier, Jeremy. You know more about this, right? You know about this book?
Exorcist? Yeah, it was a novel first.
Right. Okay.
It's loosely based off an exorcism that supposedly happened in Baltimore.
But did the movie take place in like England?
No, it takes
No,
place.
It doesn't. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's actually filmed in Georgetown too, and those terrifying stairs are a real thing.
Were those those aren't the stairs that the Joker dances down, is it?
No,
Okay.
that's in New York.
Different city.
Yeah,
I don't know these
those
things.
stairs are not. You're not able to dance down them. You're barely able to walk on them. They're made
It's
really
like
weird. They're like weirdly steep.
Narrow
and
stairs.
shallow.
Yeah.
I just watched that not too long ago. The Exorcist.
See, the last time I watched it, I have the DVD. I watched it, and there was not a scene. There was a scene missing that I remembered watching before, and it was the girl going down the stairs backwards.
Oh, what you saw was the basically the writer's cut, not the director's cut. So William Peter Blatty wrote the Exorcist screenplay, and William Friedkin directed it.
Mhm.
William Friedkin took certain things out for pacing purposes that William Peter Blatty hated that he did, because he wanted to make sure that you knew that good won in the end. Like, that's his whole thing. Like, he couldn't handle the ambiguity, because in the theatrical version, it can go either way. If evil won or not,
Mm-hmm.
But there's certain things that they cut, that they put in this. They released The Exorcist in the early 2000s, like I want to say 2001. And it was called The Version You've Never Seen Before, which has now been later called the director's cut, but it's not a director's cut.
Yeah.
It's writer's cut technically. But in that, Reagan goes down the stair, does like the crab walk thing, which has become very iconic, even though that's not from there. Also, they CG a bunch of Pazuzu faces in to make sure you know it's Pazuzu that's possessing her, because William Friedkin realized that Pazuzu is a stupid name and didn't want to put that in his movie, and that's why John Borman, our savior who created Zardoz, when he made his sequel to Exorcist, made sure to immediately.
You say the savior?
Hey, I have to show you guys this because I thought it was funny. I just pulled up the YouTube app on my phone and it showed the thumbnail for the stream. We all look miserable in it.
Great.
And what stream?
This one.
This is a stream going on right now, and it's just like Matthew's looking off somewhere. Me and Jeremy just look like we want to fight each other right now. We're just
remembering the time that you had us read King of the Monsters, and you remember the time I had you read The Predator.
To be fair, though, I hadn't been introduced to The Predator before then, so it wasn't as bad until I actually watched the films, and then I'm like, okay, now Jeremy, I hate you.
That's probably I really wanted to read Predator or Predator 2. Good luck finding those.
Oh yeah, they're really hard to find, aren't they?
They're really expensive too when you do.
I'm glad that I picked it up then when I found it. The first one, Predator.
Yeah.
Wish I could find
Predator really expensive and hard to find? The original Terminator novelization.
So there is one?
Yes. My mom had it from back in 1984 when it came out. Like, she just bought that on a whim.
Wow.
And kept it because I've read it, I'm pretty sure, at some point. I read all of her she had a couple movie novelizations from back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
She had Fog, which I left the biggest impression on me. Mm-hmm. Because that's when I realized the Fog, half of it got reshot, because there's a bunch of things in the Fog book that are not in the movie, and it's because they couldn't get the lighting correct, or if there was a breeze, all of the fog would just go away.
I was telling Matthew, this is probably the rarest one that I found, because I didn't even know they had a novelization of it. It was Van Helsing.
I've seen some listings of it on eBay.
Really? Because I looked and I didn't find it unless I just... actually, I looked on Amazon, and I didn't see it there, but it was only $3. And
so you're saying it's a reverse of the Noah novelization? One of the easiest things you can find if you type in movie novelization on eBay, it's just Noah's, Wonder Woman, and what's the other one? Dark Knight Rises. Those are the main three. You'll find 50 listings each.
Yeah.
Or Man of Steel. That's another one.
Man of Steel. Yeah, I've seen that one.
Can you guys hear me good now? I turned the gain down on the mic.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
you still hear the baby crying still too?
No, I can't hear the baby crying.
Okay. She doesn't want to go to bed, but she's 2. She needs to go to bed.
Oh. That's pure rage right there.
Yeah, it is. Small time. He's talking about The Exorcist. The stairs gave him anxiety.
Yeah, they're freaky.
Yeah, and I agree with this. I'm surprised Linda Blair's parents let her make that movie. Yeah, I'm surprised with a lot of the kids.
God. Have either of you ever watched the behind the scenes of The Exorcist? Mm-hmm. William Friedkin was a madman. And he just was horrible to the actors. He slapped one across the face. The mom, he's like, he just told the stunt guys because she's supposed to be flung because Reagan like throws her across the room, but obviously a little girl's not going to throw someone across the room, so she has a wire around her waist, and he's like, let her have it, and they just pulled her so hard that she fell and cracked her tailbone.
Dang.
I've heard of. Go ahead.
And like they just kept filming even though she was in absolute agony. They wouldn't stop filming.
I've heard of things happening like that in film, like The Dark Knight. Like Heath Ledger, I read told Christian Bale like during the interrogation scene, like, "Oh, don't hold back. Like whenever you punch me, like punch me as hard as you physically can." And I was just like, because he wanted to get that full effect of like the Joker, like not conceding to Batman or something like that, you know. But
It's more common now to have actors beat up on other actors, especially in action movies. But it is a director can't lay hands on an actor anymore. I mean, back in the day, they used to shoot like directors in order to freak their actors out would just shoot guns on set, like with actual rounds.
I've heard of something like that. I was watching this mockumentary that had a Werner Herzog in it, and like there was like this whole big thing where I guess there was like the rumor that he pulled a gun on someone on during a set and everything, but he like in the mockumentary says like, I never did that. I don't know where that came from. And but like in the mockumentary they were at like Loch Ness and everything, and like they threw this like fake Nessie in the water and he was refusing to shoot it, so the one producer like pulled out a flare gun that was not loaded and points at it. It was just like, how do you like having a gun pointed in your face now? And I was just like, he's like, I've never done that. Why do people keep accusing me of that?
Well, like the guy who plays Aragorn in Lord of the Rings. I remember watching a lot of the special features on that, the Lord of the Rings movies. I can't remember which film it was, but he like kicks a helmet.
Oh, that's Two Towers. And
Two Towers.
they
Breaks his foot.
It like 14 times, and then finally the last one he broke his toe.
Yeah, and it hurt so bad, but like it gave the perfect reaction. They're like, that's perfect. And then I think the Lord of the Rings, the guy Samwise steps on like glass or something in the river.
Yeah, at the end of Fellowship, yeah. And they had to get a helicopter in and life flight him away. Yeah. But the thing with the broken toe thing, they shot all the running parts at the beginning of Two Towers after that.
Okay.
Running on a broken toe. The stunt guy for Gimli had like a dislocated hip or something, and Orlando Bloom had dislocated a shoulder. And they were all just like horribly injured. And they had to do all the running stuff.
That's when you know you've made a movie, though.
Yeah. Speaking of Orlando Bloom, Kelsey actually pointed this one out to me, like in one of the Pirates movies, when Jack Sparrow's like, I've got a jar of dirt, you know, that was completely improvised. And if you go back and watch it, you could see Orlando Bloom like, what the heck is going on here, guys?
Think of like weird scenes where you see an actor get in Expendables, was it Stone Cold Steve Austin throws Sylvester Stallone into a concrete barrier, and you can see when Stallone's neck broke.
Ooh.
Have his neck. That's why his neck's so thick now. They had to surgically put bolts in his neck to hold it back together.
Jeez.
In the original Scarface, like from the 30s, like there was a scene where it showed the actor that played the Scarface character come around this corner while they were firing off machine guns, and you can see like a piece of like a wall just go just like kind of like explode. Apparently they fired a real round.
Live rounds?
Yeah, like live rounds, and like this, he was like this far away from his face, you know, like so he was like that close to death.
Al Pacino, wow, that would have sucked.
Well, it wasn't Al Pacino, it was from the 30s. So
okay.
Yeah,
okay.
One of the pre-code gangster movies from the 30s.
That's insane. Okay, here's one. I could be completely wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure I heard this in the commentary on Ghostbusters. Is that like they would have, you know, they're filming things, and a lot of that movie was improv. Most of the comedy scene. After you read the novelization, I think you got Jeremy. You have the novelization.
I have it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought it because you were buying it.
Yeah. When you read it, you'll definitely tell the difference. You're like, okay, here's the screenplay compared to what the actors can do. they made movie magic with those actors.
And that's so weird because Dan Aykroyd and
Harold Ramis.
Harold Ramis wrote it.
Yeah.
Well, I can only imagine how like nutty Dan Aykroyd's script would have been, because I've seen Nothing But Trouble, a movie where he plays two characters, and one of those characters has a penis for a nose.
For a nose. Yeah.
I've heard about something kind of like that, where the actors they improvised it themselves. I heard this from a friend that I used to work with. He told me that Robin Williams actually was denied an Oscar for his portrayal of the genie in Aladdin because he improvised most of it.
Yeah,
wow.
that's the thing.
Oh
That's
man, that's
crazy.
sad. That's sad.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't take kindly to improvisation.
That's great. Because like the thing with Ghostbusters is the one that when Winston, the black guy, he says, "I have seen crap that'll turn you white," and like it goes to reactions of everybody else, and I think all the reactions were like actual, like him doing the improv and then their reaction to what he just said, and everybody was kind of like looking around at each other, and one guy's just like, it was so funny. It's one of my favorite lines. I have seen crap that'll turn you white.
I love that Ernie Hudson has been in so much garbage, and he's good every time.
Oh yeah, he's a really good actor.
Have you ever seen Leviathan?
I've heard of it.
Is it the one that has a big sea monster and it takes place like in a submarine or something?
Yeah, it's on an underwater station.
Oh,
Starring the guy who was RoboCop, and like they drink this, like they think it's vodka that they found from a Soviet submarine, but it turns them into horrible sea monsters. And it's like a weird body horror film.
Then I haven't seen this.
kind of want to watch a terrible movie now.
Well, it's borderline a good movie. It's well acted overall, but Ernie Hudson is just like the best in it. I mean, oh, God, you missed out yesterday. We could have done a stream. I watched Hellraiser.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I watched it again.
I watched it about 2 years ago. I wasn't impressed by it.
Very much what happens when an author directs a movie. This Clive Barker directed it and wrote it.
Mm. Does that have a novelization?
I like Hellbound Hellraiser 2 a little more because they actually go into hell in that one, and hell looks really cool. And it's got some cooler lines, although it kind of falls apart at the end because one of the actors from the first movie didn't want to come back for the sequel. And so like the storyline doesn't make a lot of sense.
Kind of like with Roy Scheider and the whole Jaws franchise.
Fair enough.
Small Time. Have you seen The Substitute with Tom Berenger and Ernie Hudson? It's a good B movie. I have not heard of it.
I've never heard of that, actually.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
The Substitute. But I don't have anything else to really show you guys. Do you guys have anything else that's really cool to show? I kind of wanted to wrap it up here.
Go to my OnlyFans. Jerry Kotzwinkle III. When quality comes back, he will watch this whole stream and he'll be very happy I said that.
Yeah, that's his little.
I may have shown this before. I can't quite remember, but I have Fantastic Firsts.
I don't think you have.
Oh, that's significantly better than Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
This is like the original origins of like Captain America, the Hulk. See, there's the Hulk right there when he was gray. It has Daredevil, Spider-Man, X-Men. It's kind of like all of their original first issues. So
I guess if you like those and you're like, okay, well, I guess I got to find the second issue. Reflect them that way.
Yeah, some of those comics second issues are probably like very expensive,
hard to find. Yeah, I think like I'm in these like Ninja Turtle groups on Facebook too, and they post things that I never would have imagined that the turtles would have shown up on. I mean, they even had like special comics, I guess Archer comics, but they were
Oh
all
yeah,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle runs.
Mhm.
I'm not familiar with the whole Archie or Archer thing, but
I saw one comic today actually when I was at the store, and it looked like the animators. It was a Ninja Turtles comic, but it looked like it was animated by the people that did Ren and Stimpy.
what?
I'm not kidding.
Are you guys Ren and Stimpy fans?
I like Ren and Stimpy.
Back when I was a kid, it was on. Yeah,
I used to watch it with my dad when I was a kid.
Oh, okay. I will leave my unpopular opinion to myself.
I don't know what they
If you-
did with it. I think it went off the air and then it came back as like a reboot.
Like
Yeah,
a more
fine.
adult reboot.
Yeah, it was for Spike TV. I personally have never it makes me uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah, I remember some weird scenes that I've.
Well, no, it's just that type of comedy makes me feel uncomfortable, and I don't laugh. I'm just like kind of mortified that what's happening, but it's not like a mortification like trying to think of in-betweeners makes me laugh because I'm so embarrassed for them. Like, and it's like, oh my god, these poor actors have to deliver these horrible lines. Like, that's what I find funny. But like,
And bad CGI.
oh, true. I do find no. It depends on how bad. If it's at a certain level, like Sharktopus, I find just funny.
Shark. Oh my gosh.
Adam knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I've seen that featured. I'm like, that is.
I've
Or,
seen Sharktopus several times.
or what's that sequel? Sharktopus versus Whale Wolf.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that's right. Are those Asylum movies? I can't
Yeah.
remember.
I think so.
The Asylum is just awful. I'll never forget Mega Piranha. They were like, we have these special guns, and it was just the Nerf long shot that they spray painted black.
Cheap prop.
And
There was
then
like
they used scenes from Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus in Mega Piranha, which were already reused. There's like this shot of a guy outside a military base. It's used like 8 times in Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus. It's used like another 12 times in Mega Piranha. It's like they make their own stock footage.
the funniest thing I've seen from Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus. Like I haven't even seen the whole film yet, but it shows this guy in an airplane, and he just looks out the window. He's like, "Holy crap!" Then a freaking 800-foot shark just jumps out of the water to catch the plane. I'm like,
It wasn't. You never saw it leave the water. It was just flying through the air.
I know. I'm just like this shark's like what, 200 feet long? It's like still,
Yeah.
Okay,
and it's
what
still
is
like,
this movie called?
Mega
It's-
Shark versus Giant Octopus.
Okay.
it's on Tubi.
There was a movie, Mecha Shark versus Mega Shark.
Yeah, it's
It was a
sequel.
robot shark. I think they have the same exact scene. I
Yeah.
started to watch this, and it was an airplane, and then this giant shark comes out of the water and like flies up to the airplane and takes it down. And I remember like laughing at it, and my wife's like, "What is this?" And then
I
she's like,
kind
"Let's
of
watch
want
something
to.
else."
I kind of want to like take that scene with the shark like flying up to the plane and just have the shark saying "garbage day."
Small Time brings up the CGI in the Langoliers miniseries from the 90s being so bad that it was good. I'll second that. The sad thing is the Asylum effects are not much better, and it's like 2 decades removed. I'll never forget the Asylums before they got into like big creature features. Their whole thing was rip-off movies. So when Transformers came out, the Michael Bay movie, they made Transmorphers. When High School Musical came out, they made Sunday School Musical.
Oh my gosh!
It was just things to trick grandma into buying it for the kids.
Yeah, yeah. Or they used to have those like types of DVDs, and they'd put them up in the front of Walmart, like by the cash register.
Yeah, because like they needed to be distributed somewhere.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jeremy. How you said that was hilarious. Like, yeah, it was just those type of movies to trick grandma to buying them for you.
It is. You just
Because the image looks like it'd be from like Transformers.
Yeah, it looks but like a parent wouldn't think of it that way. They'd be like, oh, that's a terrible ripoff. But grandma hears it from the grandkids, like, oh, they really are into this, but they don't quite remember because they're elderly. So, like, you know, they just pick
Like
it
the
up.
Transmorphers? Yeah, I think so.
My grandma once tried to buy my sister the Mike Myers Cat in the Hat movie, but instead bought this weird BBC Cat in the Hat Muppet show for my sister.
Oh, that one that came on Nickelodeon. Yeah.
Was it on? I didn't even know it aired. I thought it was just made for that DVD.
I remember seeing something like that when I was a kid. Like it was on Nickelodeon.
I got scammed once. I bought a CD at Walmart. This is several years ago, and it was the Lord of the Rings soundtrack, but it was a cover of the Lord of the Rings soundtrack made with like a digital orchestra.
Oh,
And you know, Walmart's policy is like, oh, you can't bring back open CDs because
Oh, really?
burn the CDs and then you try to take it back. Yeah, they're like, we're sorry, we can't refund this. I think it was like my first year out of high school, and I was pissed. And I was like, yeah, I'm pissed. My mom's like, why are you pissed? I'm like, I just bought the CD and Walmart won't take it back. She's like, well, bring it here. Like the next time I saw her, I brought it over to her house. She's like, I'll get it taken care of. I'm like, yeah, right. They won't do it. She like goes to Walmart, comes back. She's like, got the other one. They took it back. It's like, ugh, wow. Okay. My mom can get anything done.
did your mom become a Karen?
Yeah, I think so. Probably. But
I remember buying a CD like that once. It was around Halloween. It was like a CD of like, oh, all the famous horror themes like Jaws, Mike Myers, or Halloween theme and everything. And I bought it, and it was just like, it was the same thing.
Yeah, someone had a keyboard with like the flute, playing the flute on the keyboard, and you're like, ugh.
And I'm just like
You just wait for the machine gun sound on the keyboard.
Yeah. I've got my keyboard over there. It makes those really horrible sounds. The dog barking sound is horrible. Like the best one's like the helicopter. But yeah, everything else sucks.
I had to accompany a play once with a keyboard like that, where I had to like hold down this one sound to sound like rain. And then I had to switch sounds while I'm still holding down the rain sound. And I was hoping like I had to like write down the note like okay, we need a frog now. And then like I'm hoping that like, oh, please be the frog, because otherwise it would have been like a squirrel or some random animal.
Higher screech.
Just like, okay, where's a frog? And like we hear an explosion. And I'm just like, whoops.
That's great.
It's either going to be an explosion or a fart sound. Like that was the two things it was going to be.
which in turn could also be, an explosion of sorts. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of that too, I remember one of the Ren and Stimpy Christmas specials, I believe it was. Stimpy let some gas go, and like the little green cloud that came up from his rear,
it came to life or something.
Yeah, it was like drifting away, and he like had to go find it or something. He was like sad that his fart ran away. So stupid. Ren and Stimpy were crazy back in the day.
Yeah,
I still think like they always play like the Sugar Plum Fairy song, and like this nice little cartoon fairy, and then do like a close up, and it's like some hairy old man, like gross feet.
Of course, because everything in that show was disgusting.
It was.
And I watch body horror, and I find Ren and Stimpy more disgusting on average.
There's always that famous theme for the game that they had featured in it's like, don't whiz on the electric fence.
Yep. I like the horse too. Like, no, sir, I don't like it.
That's me and my dad's favorite.
Yep.
He was just like, no, sir, I don't like it.
Into the log. It was like the toy. It was like a toy commercial.
Oh,
log.
yeah. It's like
it's just
log from Blammo. Jeremy's just like, you guys are idiots.
I just can't. I can't get into it. I'm sorry. Not really. I have other things I'd rather be into.
Yeah, the humor though in the animation style was like very similar to like Rocko's Modern Life or something like that.
Also didn't like that.
I like that one.
I love that one.
Yeah, Rocco.
I was a little too young for a lot of these.
Yeah. Hey Arnold, that was a good one.
Uh,
Doug, the original Doug, not the
worst.
remake. What?
Doug is the worst.
You
Especially
probably watched the
the
remake.
movie. Do you remember the Doug movie, or were you guys too old for that?
I think that was after my time.
Okay,
never-
I was like right when I was in preschool when the Doug movie came out, and everyone was talking about the Doug movie. It's terrible, by the way.
Isn't that the one that was produced by Disney?
Yeah, Disney got the rights to it, which is a whole weird thing because then they like changed it, and it got worse.
I like the Nickelodeon version.
Yeah. So I think that's when everything changed. Is like or when the generation moved away from it. Like Hey Arnold, I love that show. Then they had the Hey Arnold movie, and that was like right when I was like, I'm done watching cartoons. And then Rugrats the movie came out. It's like a new generation because then they had the baby. It's like I remember not watching the show after that.
I don't know. I stuck with Rugrats. Rugrats was my jam because my parents found it funny. That's typically how when I was really because Rugrats came out before I was born. It was like the first season where I was a baby. When did was that 93 or 94? Like that like hit.
I just remember it in the 90s.
Yeah, because it's one of the earliest memories of cartoons I have is watching Rugrats and my parents laughing at it. And like I found it funny. It's the same thing with The Tick. I watched a lot of The Tick because my parents found it really funny. That's usually how that went. Or if my parents found something really annoying, I didn't watch it. For instance, Pokemon. Not allowed to watch Pokemon. And it's because my mom hates the dub on anime.
Oh. Okay.
Like they all make horrible noises and I can't stand it. So the only exposure I've ever had to Pokemon, aside from basically all my friends being like, you want to play Pokemon? And I say no. I watched the first Pokemon movie at Costco on one of those big projector TVs, the giant flat ones. And I was watching it because I found it really fascinating that a TV could be that big. Like I could have been watching like Big Daddy on there and I wouldn't have cared. It was like that's a big TV. I don't know. I was enthralled by it. I was like 4 or 5.
Watched the whole movie. It's like, what'd you think of the film? That was a big TV.
Yeah, I like that TV. Jeez, what other cartoons were there back in the 90s that were on Nickelodeon? Remember the show, the live action show, Salute Your Shorts, and Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh, I liked Are You Afraid of... They have that on DVD now.
Yeah.
What was the weird abstract children's TV show on Nickelodeon? It was with the 2 redhead kids, but they had the same name.
Pete and Pete?
Pete and Pete, yeah.
Is the most... I didn't see Pete and Pete till I was in like a late high school. I found it to be this weird abstract thing.
I liked Keenan and Kel personally. I thought that was a funny show.
Yeah. Which I think they got that show after they did the Nickelodeon All That show.
Yeah, which was like kid version of Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. Yeah. That was fun.
Goosebumps, was that a Nickelodeon thing originally?
It was?
I think so. I think.
I didn't see Goosebumps till Cartoon Network got the rights to show it in repeats, like in the late 2000s. And
It's on
so
Netflix.
That's how I've seen all of Goosebumps. Is on Halloween they'd marathon Goosebumps, like on like the Saturday before, and I'd just sit there and watch them all and be like, some of that's pretty good, some of it's really terrible.
Yeah, it's on Netflix too right now. Me and my wife actually, before we had all the kids, it was still on. It's been on Netflix for a long time. We started watching the series and then just kind of dropped off. But yeah, those were fun to watch in October. Just brings back that '90s vibe, you know.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, some of it's timeless too. Yeah. Some of it's kind of creepy, which is nice. About half of it's garbage, though. It didn't age well at all, and it's like. But I will say, I'd rather watch that series than those Jack Black movies.
Did you guys ever watch? My dad does, but do you guys ever watch like the Twilight Zone when it comes on the marathon of like New Year's Eve or something like that?
I have. I enjoy Twilight Zone. to a certain extent. There's another show that the same guy did that seemed more horror driven, as I recall. And I can't remember what it was called. It
He's
wasn't
from Rod Sterling.
Yeah, it was another Rod Sterling.
I watched that whole season 1. I think I made it to mid season 2 before it was like, like, well, let's try this other show, and then you get hooked on something else, and then you never go back and finish what you were watching. But I need to go back and watch the Twilight Zone. I loved it a lot.
I thought it was
the new series.
I saw the first episode. It was bad.
That's the better episode.
Oh, then you say the new one?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea.
They rebooted it.
Was it Jordan Peele show?
Yeah,
so stupid.
You could watch like the first episode free on YouTube, and I was just like, me and my wife watched it, and we were like, we never seen any more after that.
I remember my favorites of the original. There's like the one guy who wanted to read, and he was always getting in trouble for reading on the job. Like, you can't do that. He had big glasses, and then one day he had to go down into the basement and do something like a vault, and then this huge explosion happens, and like it's like the atomic bomb drops. So he like comes back up, and everybody's gone and vaporized, and all the buildings are crashed. He's like, finally, I can read, and then his glasses fall off and break.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, well, you're screwed now. But my absolute favorite one was this neighborhood where like everybody starts getting paranoid, thinking they saw a UFO, and so they start turning on each other. And like some people have cellars and stuff, and they're fighting each other. And then at the end of it, the aliens have been watching. It's like, let's get out of here. These people are just going to destroy themselves. It has my favorite quote in it too.
I remember one of the funniest memories I have was like me and my dad were watching it. My grandfather came over, and it showed like these weird Martian men, like they looked really weird, like in like their outfits and everything. And then we were just watching it. Then it just showed them, and then my grandfather was like, then he looked at my dad like, "What the hell are you watching?"
It's funny. Yeah, I need to go back and finish watching that whole series. The music, I think they have the entire like not X-Files, Twilight Zone soundtrack on iTunes, but it's like $30, I think. Pretty expensive.
You still buy on iTunes? That's amazing.
Where else am I supposed to get it?
Buy it on vinyl.
Buy it on vinyl. But I want to have it on my phone.
Then just take an audio program and hook your turntable up to it and record it.
I just thought of a hilarious Twilight Zone for Matthew. Just like same thing, goes into the cellar to read, and apocalyptic event happened. He comes up, he's like, "Oh wow, I can actually read now." The only book that's available is The Crystal Star.
Oh gosh, what hell have you put me in?
The Twilight Zone.
Yeah. I want to see if this quote that's my favorite from basically anything. I think. Let's see if it'll fit on a banner. It might be too many characters.
Small Time said after the success of Get Out, Jordan Peele has tried to keep riding on the horror train.
Us was fine. It wasn't as good. Get Out was just a breath of fresh air in a genre that's been dying for a decade because of things like Paranormal Activity and remaking every classic.
What did you guys think of the movie Hereditary?
I liked it better than Midsummer.
Never saw it.
I never seen Midsummer.
I found Midsummer's a bit on the overrated side.
Hereditary was kind of more creepy than scary.
Yeah, and I appreciate creepy over like, oh boo, it's a ghost with a big mouth, or it's someone in the walls. That was like a whole thing like a couple years ago where like it was like plot twist. It's just a dude hanging out in the walls. Which you say it like that.
Somebody want to read this? I got Adam. You have a good reading voice. Want to read it out loud?
Like, do I like a Rod Sterling type voice?
Sure. I've got two other things to throw up there after this.
The tools of conquest do not necessarily come with bombs and explosions and fallout. There are weapons that are simply thoughts, attitudes, prejudices to be found only in the minds of men. For the record, prejudices can kill, and suspicion can destroy. A thoughtless, frightened search for a scapegoat has a fallout of it on all its own. For the children and the children yet unborn. And yet pity of it is, and the pity of it is, these things cannot be confined to the Twilight Zone.
That's from that Alien episode where everybody starts killing each other. Oh, that was a good quote. Sorry, I put you in this.
Needful Things?
See what?
Have you ever seen Needful Things? Basically, it's a Stephen King adaptation movie where the devil takes up shop. Well, it's pretty much Satan takes up shop. Like he makes this like antique shop, and it's called Needful Things. And in it, he gives people what they absolutely desire, but at a cost. And the town literally starts killing one another because the devil has like tricked them into doing it. Or like, you want this? Well, you got to kill your neighbor's cat. Oh, they killed your cat. Well, you gotta kill their dog. Like it just spirals out of control.
Kind of sounds like
there's actually an antique store around here called Needful Things. I will not step foot in it.
Talk about like selling your soul to the devil.
Yeah,
I know that book.
It's a good one. Hey guys, you gonna wrap it up?
Yeah.
I always wrap it up before I go down.
All right. Jeremy has to make it R before we get out of here. Well, guys, thanks for joining me on this random Tuesday night.
That should be the name of the stream. Random Tuesday night.
Tuesday night. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah.
That should be him giving the finger.
We
should
watch something. We'll do like a watch along or something like
on
that.
What?
I don't know. I don't want to do one tonight.
No. Yeah.
I still got to fix the bed so I can sleep tonight.
You should make that the thumbnail, though, of Jeremy giving us the bird.
Random Tuesday night.
Just have one of your faces on each one of my fingers.
Like he Wolverine clawed us and he's holding up our severed heads, you know?
Yeah. Put like a little M for mature in the top corner.
I'm like doing this like weird like face.
Garbage day.
Oh,
well, we could see who's the head of paper movies now.
On that note, guys, thanks for joining tonight. And everybody in the comments. It's been fun. It's time for bed. Hopefully we'll wake up tomorrow and then the weather's gonna be nice and cool still.
Must be nice. Must be really nice to have weather like that.
It came out of nowhere. It's supposed to be 57 degrees right now.
It was like 106 yesterday.
That sucks. You better get out of there.
2 years.
Get out while you still can.
Get out. Get out. Just like what Small Time says. Get out. Anyway, good night, everybody. Bye.